Hello everyone, welcome to PRATHAM Test Prep. My name is Ashish Bhargav and welcome to another episode of Daily News Analysis that we do from Monday to Friday. And as we know that why newspaper is important because it gives you information about what the things is happening around us and what things that you should prepare on that. So I hope you guys are doing well. आप सारे अच्छे होंगे and you are doing well. So just a second. Yeah. Please let me know if I am audible and visible to each and everyone. Yeah. So as we know what we discuss in the newspaper, we discuss about the national news, international news, economy based news, sports based news, science and tech, personal news, summits and conference and miscellaneous. And apart from that we also discuss about Supreme Court verdict, any amendments, any bills which is in the parliament. This is very important. And here is the quote is nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. And here is questions of the day. So we'll discuss about 5 questions that gives you an immense idea कि आपको क्या-क्या चीज़ें करनी चाहिए. And quick tips में आज हम देखेंगे G7 country को learn करने की एक new techniques. Here we have the very first news is talking about there is an urgent need to inject vibrancy into cotton. While we talk about the cotton, we should know about we are in the world largest area under cotton cultivation. और वो कितना है हमारा 125 lakh hectare. So make sure that we have the world largest area, which is we can say arable land for the cotton cultivation. And with production of 320-330 lakh bales, we rank either first or second in the global production. Also that we can see that we are a significant exporter of raw cotton, cotton yarn and value added textiles. But the cotton sector is a crossroads today. How? First thing, one side अगर हम देखें इसे is the high road that will lead to higher productivity and production that provide sufficient raw material for our expanding consumption demand and still leave a genuine export surplus. And the other side अगर हम जानने की कोशिश करें तो that is a low road that may lead to stagnating production, supply demand mismatch, volatile prices, falling export surplus, rising import dependency and all its consequential impact on the economy and value chain participants. Stakeholder including policymakers have to choose the road they want to take and that is we can say जो हमारा land available है for cotton cultivation के लिए is stagnating, perhaps reaching the saturation point. और वो saturation point है पहला हमारा उसमें reason क्या है our yields are declining after peaking 500 kg. जो land constraint है, water shortage है and climate changes that are also hurting the cotton sector. So it is critical to recognize the risk posed by climate change. अगर हम अपना ambition ये रखते हैं 5 trillion economy की. So with the ambition of 5 trillion economy, demand for cotton is sure to expand robustly in the next several years. So cotton demand to gradually rise in about 380 lakhs bales by 2030, but cotton production growth may be slower than demand growth. So in the event, there will be demand supply mismatch, price volatility and hardly any genuine export surplus of raw cotton. That fall in crude oil prices due to energy transition effort of countries that will make synthetic cheaper and adversely impact the demand of cotton based goods. अगर हम बात करें टेक्नोलॉजी की तो जो BT cotton seeds है is possibly facing technology fatigue. Pink blowworms has acquired resistance and evidence by repeated incidents of pest attack. Agronomics particles are not followed as per prescribed protocols. जेनेटिक रिसर्च की बात करें, देयर नीड्स टू फाइट क्लाइमेट चेंज विद क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर ऑफ क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट क्रॉप्स, and for the purpose a supportive long term policy to encourage firms to spend on research and development is the only alternative. Replication की बात करें यहाँ पे, like while all India cotton yield average around 450, contract farming not the least is the moral duty of large user industry to produce the required raw material through contract farming. सो फाइनली अगर हमें $5 ट्रिलियन की इकॉनमी को अचीव करना है तो उसके लिए हमें द डिमांड ऑफ कॉटन इज श्योर टू एक्सपैंड रॉबस्टली इन द नेक्स्ट सेवरल ईयर्स, एंड देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट sorry that government need to invest. One is technology, second आपका सीड रिसर्च पे खर्च करना होगा, contract farming, and some measures that can revive stagnant yield and raise cultivated area. So we should know about the things that India has the world largest area under cotton cultivation, and as we discussed about 125 lakh hectares है. बात करें अपने एडिबल लैंड की, जो हमारा कल्टिवेटेड लैंड है वो हमारे इंडिया के पास चाइना से भी ज़्यादा है. डिस्पाइट हैविंग ऑल दीज एफर्ट्स, बट आप बात करो प्रोडक्शन की, उसमें वाई वी आर लैगिंग बिहाइंड बिकॉज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, सीड रिसर्च, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग, कुछ मेजर्स हैं जो गवर्नमेंट को लेनी चाहिए. नाउ यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं ग्लोबल एआई के बारे में. सो गवर्नमेंट अपीयर्स कीनर ऑन क्लेमिंग द राइट टू बिकम द अल्फा कस्टोडियंस ऑन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस गवर्नेंस, एआई पॉलिसी मेकर्स. उसके लिए आपको एक यहाँ पे जनरेटिव एआई की बात करें. So while they're upping and to tech companies that are building the releasing AI and generative AI models is a frantic pace is credible. In short, if I talk about AI model using term like world leader in AI safety, October 30th को US गवर्नमेंट ने बताया प्रेसिडेंट जो बाइडेन issuing a landmark executive order to ensure that America leads the way in seizing the promise and managing the risk of AI. अभी रिसेंटली GPT लॉन्च हुआ, राइट. GPT मैंने आपको बता दिया एक काइंड ऑफ चैट बोट होती है GPT, विच इज जनरेटिव प्री ट्रेन्ड ट्रांसफॉर्मर. Generative pre-trained transformer. So the fact is that about 60 countries including India, which is already council chair of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, which is called GPAI. So India इसके कितने 60 countries हैं इसमें, and India is one of the members of GPAI, which is Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. So GPI have national AI strategies, and last week other than the Belcher declaration and US executive on AI, अभी उसके बाद हुआ यहाँ पे LLM की बात हो रही है, which is known to be a large language models. LLM which means large language models. So obvious API based foundation models जो हैं, that is LLM, that will protect US interest, be suitable for companies in other countries too. Meanwhile, while misinformation, AI impact on jobs, AI weaponizing of safety remain key concept for the policy makers. Targeting just the big so-called frontier AI model is missing important points. Obvious सी बात है, इसकी वजह से बहुत सारी जॉब भी गई हैं, and obvious इसके बहुत अच्छे फ़ायदे भी हैं. सो जब अभी GPT-4 लॉन्च होने के बाद. नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट अगेन यहाँ पे स्टार्टअप्स मस्ट क्रिएटिव रियल वैल्यू. ये कुछ सिमिलर आर्टिकल्स था जिसमें हमने डिस्कस की थी. सो यहाँ पे जो टॉपिक हमारा ये कहना चाहता है, ये आर्टिकल हमारा ये चीज़ बताता है कि लाइक यहाँ पे इंडिया एमर्जिंग थर्ड लार्जेस्ट स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम. वी हैव थर्ड largest startup ecosystem. ये data is very important because in your exam they will ask you. So a prolonged funding winter has knocked the wind out of many startups and put an end to yet another era of irrational exuberance and fourthly valuation. Many startups are currently facing backlash on the range. Suddenly the tables have turned. This comes the decade of growth where India emerging the third largest startup ecosystem globally with nearly 1 lakh registered startups and over 100 unicorn across diverse sector. And it is noteworthy that only 15% of these startups are profitable while the rest are making losses and burning cash in their attempt to grow or stay alive. So ये जानना important है despite we have more than 100 unicorns in our country, पर आप उसमें देखोगे हमारे जितने भी यूनिकॉर्न्स हैं उसमें ओनली 15% प्रॉफिटेबल है, रेस्ट कंपनी के पास कैश फ्लो इश्यूज हैं. वाइल फ्री flowing venture capital has been a boon for India's startups ecosystem. The excessively dependence of even the most established, startups on non-stops capital. So in short, these things is very, very important to know. Just a second, guys. Yeah. So let's move to the next one. No appetite for food safety. Much of the food Indians eat may be more detrimental for their health than they know. This was the key finding of 2023 State Food Safety Index that is prepared by FSI. FSI क्या होता है, my friends? That is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. And it shows a general decline in state food safety scores over the past 5 years. FSI started the survey in 2018 or 19 में as an annual evaluation of state and union territories to create competitive and positive change in the country food safety ecosystem. और ये जानना बहुत important है कि like it began a few years after Swiss multinational Nestle Maggi instant noodles brand was banned by most states and large retail outlets for about 6 months after following random food safety test. And over the past 5 years, अगर हम data देखें इसमें, so FSI said 19 out of 20 large Indian states have experienced a decline in their 2022-2023 State Food Safety Index that scores over 2019. And जो states हैं with the steepest fall included Maharashtra, Bihar, Gujarat, Andhra and Chhattisgarh. And 3 of these states like Maharashtra, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh are leading contributors to the food processing industry. And all 3 saw their index scores almost half. Maharashtra saw index score fall from 74 to 75. Gujarat 73 से 48.5 है. So after adjusting for these parameters, 15 out of 20 states recorded slower state food safety index score 2022 or 2023 से अगर last year और इस साल में compare करें तो. Most worrying aspect of latest survey is that it indicated a deterioration in the role of the state's food safety enforcement apparatus. For instance, the parameters with the steepest fall was food testing infrastructure, and the average score for all large states dropped from 13 out of 20 in 2019 to 7 out of 17 in 2023. बात करें इसमें, so स्टेट फूड सेफ्टी इंडेक्स को रिलीज कौन करता है? FSI, फूड सेफ्टी एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, दैट शेड्स लाइट ऑन द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ इंडियन स्टेट्स. और 2022 और 2023 के जो इंडेक्स है दैट इंट्रोड्यूस न्यू पैरामीटर्स इंप्रूवमेंट इन SFSI रैंक which assessed state progress from the previous year, and to accommodate this change, weight of other parameters were adjusted. So what is the State Food Safety Index? ये एक annual evaluation है that measures the performance of states and union territories on food safety, and the index is a dynamic quantitative and qualitative benchmarking model that provides an objective framework for evaluating food safety across all states and UTs. और SFSI को स्टार्ट किया था 2018 और 19 में to create a competitive and positive change in the food safety ecosystem in the country. These things you need to understand. Like कोई भी इंडेक्स होती है, पहले आप ये देखो इस पे लोएस्ट पे कौन है, हाईएस्ट पे कौन है, who released the index, who published the index. This is very important to understand. I hope this one is very clear. Chalo. Now, here article in UNESCO that names Kozhikode City of Literature. What this tag means? और ये देता कौन है आपका? The Kozhikode in Kerala was added to UNESCO Creative Sites Network on Wednesday. Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh were also among the 55 new cities to join network. So apart from Kozhikode and Gwalior, Varanasi for music, Srinagar for crafts and folk arts, and Chennai for music as a part of this network. So UCCN जो है आपका, that is UNESCO Creative Sites Network, that वो created, ये create हुआ था UCN, that was in the year of 2004, and उसको फिर यहाँ पे release किया. And here, as we can see, Gwalior that earns the title of City of Music. और यहाँ जो मियाँ तानसेन थे हमारे, that is born in Ramatandu into a poet and musician, was one of the Gwalior's early portraits at the beginning of 16th century. He trained under Swami Haridas, who practiced Dhrupad, but the poetry was dedicated to Krishna instead of Vishnu. So famous Sufi saint हमारे Muhammad Ghosh, that also a huge impact on Tansen. So significance क्या है? Kozhikode is a city of literature. The city has a long history of hosting various literary events such as Kerala Literature Festival, and the city is also home of many renowned writers, including S.K. Pottekkatt, the most celebrated writer of the city, and Thokiyaran and V. Vaisa Sanjayan, that along with the poets, scholars, and publishers who have contributed to the diversity and vibrancy of the Malayalam literature and culture. Gwalior as a city of music, the second city in India to be designated as the city of music by UNESCO after Varanasi in 2015. And the city is widely regarded as the birthplace of the Tansen and one of the greatest musicians and composers in Indian history, and who was also one of the Navratna's 9 jewels in the court of Emperor Akbar. The city is also the origin of Gwalior Gharana, the oldest and most influential school of Hindustani classical music. और बात करें इसमें यूनेस्को क्रिएटिव सिटीज़ नेटवर्क UCCN की, ये क्रिएट हुआ 2004 में. It aims to promote cooperative among cities which recognize creativity as a strategic factors in their urban developments. ग्लोबल AI मैटर्स, ये हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स में आपको डेटा ये याद रखनी होगी कि हमारे कंट्री में कितने बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स हैं. एंड यूनेस्को बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व के बारे में कल भी हम डिस्कस कर चुके थे, राइट. कि हमारे कंट्री पूरे वर्ल्ड में 134 कंट्रीज़ में अराउंड 748 बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स हैं अक्रॉस 134 कंट्रीज़ में, इंक्लूडिंग 22 transboundary sites that enhance the friendly cooperation between neighboring countries, and they impact the lives of more than 250 million people in 134 countries. 12 sites that can be found in India alone. Now, trick to remember G7 country. अब G7 is a political forum that is intergovernmental of 7 world leaders in advanced economies, and the 7 countries that mark their presence in the informal group that are Germany, France, Japan, the USA, Italy, Canada and England. And इसको हम learn कैसे करेंगे? Juice. So Germany, J stand for Japan. देखो कहाँ पे है अपना जापान? यहाँ पे है. U stand for USA. I for is Italy. C for Canada. And E for England. So with the help of this one that we can easily learn, और लास्ट में आपको GF करके लर्न कर सकते हो. G stand for Germany and for France. टाइप ऑफ रिट्स के बारे में बात करें, CPM हेडक्वार्टर्स, C for certiorari, P for prohibition, M for mandamus and H for habeas corpus, Q for quo warranto. ये सारे रिट्स होते हैं. So in the violation of fundamental rights, Supreme Court and High Court can issue writs. Article 226 or Article 32 में. Now it's time to questions of the day, and the very first question is World Energy Outlook report is released by International Renewable Energy Agency वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम, इंटरनेशनल एनर्जी एजेंसी और वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो अब इसका आंसर हमारा ऑप्शन सी है। International Energy Agency, that is India, is expected to have the highest growth in energy demand over the next 3 decades. And however, India's industrial sector that will emit 30% less CO2 by 2030 and passenger cars that will emit 25% less CO2 per kilometer driven. Now the next questions, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, an autonomous statutory body established under the aegis of Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Science and Technology. So it's obvious इसके आंसर हमारे क्या होंगे। सेकंड के आंसर है फूड सेफ्टी एंड स्टैंडर्ड अथॉरिटी। आज भी हमने देखा दैट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन द 2008 एंड इसके हेडक्वार्टर्स कहाँ पे, न्यू दिल्ली में, और ये एक ऑटोनमस स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी है अंडर द फूड सेफ्टी एंड स्टैंडर्ड एक्ट 2006। इट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर। एंड FSSAI फसाई के बारे में जानना क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज अभी रिसेंटली इंडेक्स को रिलीज हुई जो हमने अभी डिस्कस करी। Bureau of Indian Standard BIS is a national standard body working under the aegis of Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Home Affairs. ये आपका राइट आंसर है, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स, फूड एंड पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। सो ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स जो है इंडिया नेशनल स्टैंडर्ड बॉडी, इट इज पार्ट ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स, जो हमारा आता है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कंज्यूमर अफेयर्स, फूड एंड पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। एंड BIS को स्टैब्लिश किया गया था। BIS was established by the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 2016, which came into effect on October 12, 2017. And BIS is responsible for standardization, marking, quality, certification of goods, hallmarking, laboratory service, जो आपके ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज होते हैं उनमें भी BIS इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट। जो ज्वेलर्स होते हैं तो ज्वेलरी में भी इसका हम यूज़ करते हैं इसके हॉलमार्क्स को। And the Prachand mentioned in the news sometimes is a light combat aircraft, light combat helicopter, crossover utility vehicles, lightweight autonomous UAV. So it's a light combat helicopter, बी ऑप्शन। इसको HAL ने प्रिपेयर किया था, हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक्स लिमिटेड। सो इंडियन आर्मी लाइट कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर प्रचंड रिसेंटली कंडक्टेड द इनॉग्रल फायरिंग ड्यूरिंग बोथ डे एंड नाइट ऑपरेशन। जो प्रचंड है इंडिया का फर्स्ट इंडिजिनस मल्टी रोल कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर है। इट वॉज डेवलप्ड बाय हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक्स लिमिटेड HAL। इसकी रेंज है 700 किलोमीटर्स तक, दैट द हाइएस्ट अमंग ऑल अटैक हेलीकॉप्टर्स इन द वर्ल्ड। And the landing and takeoff altitude at 5,000 meters की। And here is the last question about the moon. The moon is a star that emits its own light primarily at night. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite orbiting our planet. The moon is composed mainly of liquid water. And the moon has a breathable atmosphere that can support human life without the need of space suits. देखो ये जो statement है आपको you need to understand the applying POE, process of elimination, and we can apply the process of elimination in this question. तो यहाँ पे breathable atmosphere तो नहीं है और कह रहा है कि without the need of space suits, तो ये तो information बिल्कुल vague है। तो vague information यहाँ पे है और ये that does not make any sense at all। D को आपने eliminate किया। Moon is composed mainly of liquid water, ये भी नहीं possible है। Moon is a star that emits own light. No, moon is not a star. Its own light primarily at night. ये अर्थ की only natural satellite है orbiting our planet. So B is the right option. So moon is the Earth only natural satellite and it orbits our planet. It plays a significant role in Earth tides and has been the subject of human exploration and study of for centuries. अभी जो रिसेंट स्टडी हुई यूजिंग क्रिस्टल्स प्लॉट बैक्ड बाय अपोलो एस्ट्रोनॉट्स 1972 ने रिवील किया द मून इज अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 40 million years older than previously believed. So this is all about the session, dear students, and I hope that you enjoyed our session a lot. And दिवाली की प्रिपरेशन के साथ साथ आप अपनी इस प्रिपरेशन को भी अच्छे रखें, and please share and please subscribe our channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon so you will get the notification of all our Pratham Test Prep mentors. Stay tuned, we'll meet you tomorrow for the same time, and till then, bye bye and take care. Thank you so much for joining with us. Thank you.